Hal Smith, class of 1969. The late Hal Smith was a co-captain and formed a lethal 1-2 punch with All-American and Fairfield Prep Athletic Hall of Famer Jim Fitzsimmons on the Jesuits basketball championship team of 1969 under Hall of Fame coach Bob Sylvester. The 6'3", 185-pound Smith was an All-NBA and All-State selection that season when he averaged 22 points a game, including a career-high 41 against Law of Milford. He also netted 29 points in Prep's win over Harding, which handed Prep its only loss earlier in the season. Smith was also a standout on the baseball diamond, manning third base for Athletic Hall of Fame coach Ed Rowe. He was also a co-captain for the Prep 9 his senior year when he hit .368 and was an All-NBA selection. Following graduation, Smith played 53 games over 3 seasons as a reserve guard on the Harvard basketball team, as well as 4 seasons as a slugging outfielder and first baseman on the Crimson baseball squad, which played in the College World Series in both 1971 and 73. Smith led the team with a .353 average in 1973.
Hello, I'm Wally Hallis from the great class of 1969, and I am honored to partake in this ceremony to recognize one of the great two-sport basketball and baseball athletes in history, Harold Francis Smith Jr. Hal was an incredibly gifted athlete and student, and we were blessed to have him. I was certainly blessed to be on both of his teams, and he was the captain, my captain, for all 4 years. Then he became my closest friend for the rest of his life.
From the very first practice, it was obvious that he was a special player. I had seen him play basketball, so I knew he was athletic. But on the baseball field, I was able to see the strength of his arm, the softness of his hands, and his smooth swing. As the season progressed, I was drawn to his competitiveness, his intelligence, and his passion for the game. Thus began our friendship.
Truly one of Hal's greatest qualities was his humility. And with all of those accomplishments in baseball, he never mentioned it ever of all the things that he did, much less brag about it. But he did have one quality that he brought to basketball that was unique, that really made him special, and that was swag. Smitty had swag. We would go into any gym, whether it was in the city, New Haven, Hartford, wherever it happened to be. Smitty would size up the gym and the opponents. He would turn to all of us and he would say, "We got this, boys." And that confidence inspired all of us. And some of the players that we played against during that time were Super John Williamson, later played for the New York Nets, had Kevin Joyce, who played for the 1972 U.S. Olympic team, Brian Winters, who played for the Milwaukee Bucks and later became an NBA coach. And Smitty went head-to-head with all of them. Not only did he hold his own against all of them, but he was exceptional and excellent. And his team records, that 64-6 record over those 3 years happened nearly 60 years ago and still stands strong to this day. And as many of you know, Smitty continued his two-sport career at Harvard, playing both basketball and baseball for 4 years.
After his graduation, that relationship grew through shared meals and visits to our home, trips to Harvard, eventually his wedding, surprise drop-bys at my games, libations at the Angus, and the many phone calls, all of which ended with, "I love you too." We cherished his spirit, his smile, his sense of humor, his warmth with our children, his service to the Prep, and his love for his family. Shakespeare said, "A man plays many roles in his life. As a son, brother, honor student, businessman, dedicated alumnus, husband, father, and athlete, Hal gets all 10s."
So with that, I'm Wally Hallis, the great class of 1969, and I am honored to present my classmate, my teammate, my captain, and my forever friend Hal Smith for enshrinement into the Fairfield Prep Athletic Hall of Fame.